Yeah, I can do it. Yay, we're on. Welcome to the Stories We Tell Mastermind. It's a 4-week introductory mastermind for those who find themselves in transition. And that, whether it's a welcome transition or not, doesn't matter. You're in transition. This is a new season. It's time to listen to what we tell ourselves and others. It's the beginning of a journey to learn to listen to those stories so that you can make the changes that you need to make to get through your transition, to pivot from disaster to prosperity, from ruins to rainbows, from overwhelm to peace. So let's start with my story. It's as good a place as any. I basically got involved with self-growth studies when I was in my early 20s. I was a wannabe actress, and so I was commuting into New York City to study with a commercial acting coach. And the textbook he used was Napoleon Hill's book, Master Key to Riches. Now, Napoleon Hill is one of the best known teachers in the field, and I was fascinated. So when my husband and I decided to move to California, we were pursuing our dream careers. I had already introduced him to Hill's writings, and we were in agreement about their value. So then years pass, we have a landslide. It destroys our home. It was awful. And we didn't know what to do or how to do any of it. And so we knew that we needed to get a grip on the disaster. And what came to mind were Napoleon Hill's words: we need a purpose and a plan. So we had to think about that. Without vision, people perish. So we sat down and we reconstructed our vision that we'd originally had when we started out from the East Coast to the West Coast. What emerged was that we wanted to build a movie ranch. And following Hill's words, we began to focus our activities on that ranch. It took 18 months to get into a place of our own again. But what we found in the end was closer to our dream location and lifestyle than we had ever had before. Within a year, we had identified a 2,400-acre ranch that became our movie ranch without having to buy it. And within a year, we were, Peter had his business going, running that ranch. I kept studying. And as years passed on, I became a television producer. I had the opportunity to use all of my training to start to coach. And the dreams keep getting bigger and bigger. What I know is that there is a process. It's a repeatable, reliable process that you can implement to achieve your dream and your goals. And I have used this system to pivot from disaster in the landslide to prosperity, from ruins when the house was gone to the rainbows of a new world, and from overwhelm when you just didn't know how you were ever going to get through it or do it, to peace. So I want to help you do just that. The work we're about to do is internal. We generally operate from a more external position. So we're going to take a moment just to calibrate our energy. We do this by breathing in through the nose and then exhaling out through the mouth. So breathe in and exhale out. Again, repeat. Breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And then once more, so that we can release any dust or stress that we're carrying as we come into this session. Breathe in and breathe out. While we're in this generative state, please think of one thing that you have to be grateful for and one thing you're proud of. Something you're grateful for. Lots of times, lots of ideas come into your head at that point, but we just want to pick one and then one thing we're proud of that happened today. So let's get to know one another. We're going to tell me your name, tell me where you're calling from, and what was your intention in joining this call?
My name is Tressa Del Rosario, and I'm from Reseda. Los Angeles, California. And thank you, Susan, for this invitation. And for me, my intention for being here is to provide great support here for you and also for connecting with people. Meet Susan's connections too as we continuously evolve, make friends, and also there's power in masterminding. You know, we've studied that in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and actually this one I finished this book, and it reminded me of the power of the mastermind.
Yes,
And
it is a powerful, powerful tool.
yeah,
what are you grateful for today and proud of?
I'm grateful for being one with Jesus, with God, with Mother Mary, and all the heavenly team I call the archangels Michael and Gabriel and Raphael Zadkiel, because I am divinely guided and protected in the path that I'm on.
All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you for that. We're going to go over some foundational concepts because in an introductory class, you may never have heard these things. So to be created, everything has to be thought twice, in the mind first, and then it comes into physical form. So you know this yourself. You see windows and you see walls. You see someone had to think up the walls before they could be built up. So we start with a formula that helps determine the results we get in anything we do. Our thoughts become feelings, and those feelings become actions, and then results. But there's another side to that, which is that we forget some of the work that has to happen as that's going across, which is that we have a vision in our thoughts. That vision causes feelings, whether something we like or we don't like, but we get a response to it. And you know this because if I were to say to you that you've lost your wallet, you'd have a physical response. You would be terrified. What did I do? I've got $100 in there that I need. And then if I say, oh, no, I remember I put it in my jacket. It's there. It's okay. Great sigh of relief. Whew, everything is okay. It all works out. So this is something where we want to understand the physiology involved with our thoughts. And then we want to understand that the mindsets we're in affect whether we're thinking positively or negatively, which impacts our results. And our skill sets. Are we missing a skill set for what it is that's in our vision? And are we willing to do the work to acquire and build up that skill set within ourselves? Because those are the things that move us into action, and those actions clearly bring results on the other side. So for this session of this particular program, we're going to start with vision. And we all operate in one of 4 domains. I want to say 5, but technically it's 4. Health and well-being, love and relationships, vocari or vocation, the work we do in the world, the talents we bring out and share with the world, time and money freedom. And the 5th one that I like to include is spirit, our inner being, the power greater than ourselves that also influences the results we get. We're also threefold beings: body, mind, and soul and spirit. Mind and feelings make up our soul. So body, soul, and spirit. And as we go into the visioning part of this, I want you to release the need to know how something is going to come to pass. Everything is possible. But if we only need to know where we want to begin and what we want to wind up, all the rest could be a jumble and we don't need to worry about it. The how is not important. So in order to take these steps down the path, one of the first things we take is notice what you're noticing. Notice your longings and your discontents. And maybe if you notice something jumps out at you right this minute, just take a minute and record it on a piece of paper next to you. And then given those noticing items, ask yourself, what would you love? I want you to take a couple minutes here just to brainstorm. In ordinary life, we tend to speak of conditions, situations, and circumstances. And we talk about them as if they cause what we don't like or what we do like and what we hate and why did this happen to me? But it's really not the events themselves that's causing the results. What it really is our thinking. Our thinking controls all our results. So in order to get around this convoluted way of thinking about what we have in our life, we use a phrase, up until now. And up until now, we acknowledge what we've done that brings us into our current situation, but then we describe what we would prefer. And we start to write down what we discover we would prefer. That's the start of our vision. So the question for you right now is 1 to 3 years from now, what would you prefer in all quadrants of your life? I'm going to ask you a few assessment questions to prime the pump a little bit. I'm going to ask you what you're feeling about each area of your life. And as I make these statements, just make a note of what feels true to you. You might be a person who doesn't know what your dream is. You just know there's something there. There's something more to do. You might be a person who has lots of dreams and you don't know whether to choose one or create them all at once. You might be a person who has achieved lots of success, but you're not feeling all the fulfillment you want to feel, and you're not quite making the difference you want to make. Every one of us has a dream inside us somewhere, even if we are still endeavoring to find it or achieve it. We want to keep you in touch with that part of you that has a dream. So let's think about your health and well-being. You might be a person who has relatively good health, no symptoms, but you know there's so much more vibrancy and aliveness that you want to feel. Or you might be a person who doubts your ability to transform your health at all. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being not fulfilled at all, and 5 being completely fulfilled, go ahead and make a note of that number in your journal. Love and relationships are next. You might be a person who longs to have a beautiful, deep, fun, and passionate relationship with someone, a loving and a caring partner. Or you might be a person who would just love to deepen, expand, and have some fun with a relationship that you're already in. So once again, on a scale of 1 to 5, where are you in your current relationships? How fulfilled are you between 1 and 5? Now, vocation. You might be a person who feels stuck in a job you do not like. Or you might be a person who likes your work, but you work too many hours and you want more time and money freedom in your life. Or you might be a person who feels called to a larger leadership role or an entrepreneurial role that allows you to contribute more and make a bigger impact. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how fulfilled are you with your current vocation? And lastly, time and money freedom. You might be a person who doesn't have the money freedom to do the things that you really want to do, or give and contribute to a cause or organization that matters to you. You might be the person who's missing important moments and not going where you want to go, traveling or having as much fun and play in your life as you'd like to. Or you might be the person who feels out of alignment with your bigger vision and purpose, who desires a deeper relationship with God, but feels like they need more time than money and more money than time, and you can't have it all. So you just love to be more in harmony with yourself and with everything around you. So how fulfilled are you? Write the initial responses down. What would you love in each area? Draw complete a picture or tell the story in as much detail as you can. 2 minutes in each category. So 2 minutes for health and well-being, 2 minutes for love and relationships, 2 minutes for vocation, and 2 minutes for time and money freedom. And lastly, just because it's me, 2 minutes to experience your spirit being. So you can begin. Negative challenges will pop up. We call them paradigms. You may already have some well-honed internal problem-solving mechanisms in the successful areas of your life. And those mechanisms may interfere with the power of new possibility, the dreams that you haven't allowed yet. So if you're more comfortable, you can keep a side piece of paper and note the objections, but they are not part of your vision. The stories you tell about your vision are clues to your mindset. So take your time right away. Do not judge. And then we're going to, after we spend a little time, we're going to go around again, and you can share your vision with us in all 4 quadrants, or all 5. When I think about this exercise, I think, what house would I be living in? Would it be a 2-story house or a ranch? Would it be an apartment or a condominium? Where would I be? What would I be doing? What's part of my dream? Am I working, or am I volunteering my time? Do I just barely make ends meet, or am I so financially well off my whole life, I never will have to worry about money again? What am I wearing? Am I a fancy dresser? Or am I more into casual things? Do I have pets? What kind of pets do I have? What kind of weather is out there? Is it sunny, or am I going to live in Florida when hurricanes come through all the time? What kind of place am I living in? Am I in a big relationship? Am I in the beginning stages, or have we been around for a while, or is it now really serious and we've been together for 30 years? So many possibilities. It's fun to think about them all. So I'd like you to share your vision with me in these quadrants. How does your vision make you feel? And does it make you want to get into action? Well, this is the joy of this kind of a gathering. We can share so quickly by mental acuity. So I'm going to leave us at this spot. I want you just to have this beginning sense of your vision. I want you to work with it over the week while we're waiting for the next week's event to class to come together. And so I want you to read what you wrote in each quadrant. Ask yourself if it feels right, and if it doesn't, rewrite it with any changes. And if there's no changes, read it out loud. And then finish by saying this or something better still. So thank you very much. We will have this meeting again next week at the same time, 5 p.m. It will have a recurring Zoom link. I'm going to send it out again because it's not, right now it's a one-off, but the next one will be recurring. And same time, Zoom recurring. Call me if you have any problems. I think you all have my number. And thank you very much for joining us tonight. I look forward to exploring your visions next week. Thanks so much.